Hey everybody, Seth Davis here. It's time for another edition of Hot or Not, where I weigh in on which teams and players are hot and which ones are in danger of freezing over. Now, if I told you at the start of the season that another Pac-10 team would have the same conference record as UCLA in mid-February, you probably would have guessed it was Arizona or Washington State. But it was Trent Johnson's Stanford Cardinal who entered the week riding a 7-game win streak that has them tied with the Bruins in first place in the conference. Now, Stanford, of course, has succeeded largely because of the magnificent Brook Lopez. After missing the first 9 games of the season because of academics, the 7-foot sophomore center is now 6th in the Pac-10 in scoring and rebounding, and he's locked in a duel with Kevin Love for Conference Player of the Year. Hot player, Purdue's Robbie Hummel. He's our player of the week. Hummel has been the best of a very good freshman class for Matt Painter out at Purdue. He poured in a season-high 21 points in the Boilermakers' stunning win at Wisconsin last Saturday. That was Purdue's 12th straight victory, and it put them in the unlikely position of sole possession of first place in the Big Ten. Hummel is just a smooth and versatile player, a 6'8" swingman. He had 11 rebounds in a win at Penn State, and he had 5 assists, 3 different games in conference play. How important is Hummel to this team? Coming into this week, their only Big Ten loss came at Michigan State, a game in which Hummel was too sick to play. That's who's hot. Let's check out who's not. The coldest team this week is Ole Miss. Andy Kennedy's Rebels were one of the last unbeaten teams in America earlier this season, but they started this week 2 games under 500 in the SEC West, and now they're in danger of missing out on the NCAA tournament altogether. Now, like a lot of young teams, Ole Miss has had problems winning on the road. 4 of their first 5 conference losses came away from home, and they also dropped a bad home game to South Carolina on February 2nd. Ole Miss is still getting quality production from freshman point guard Chris Warren, but they've been vulnerable at the defensive end. They're ranked 10th in the SEC in both scoring defense and three-point percentage defense. Not player this week, how about Jonathan Wallace at Georgetown? Wallace is a former walk-on, but he's still the school's all-time leader and made three-pointers. And he's coming off a junior season during which he made 49% from behind the arc. That's made his recent miserable shooting stretch so perplexing. Wallace went through a 5-game period when he made just 2 of 14 from behind the arc, including going 0 for 5 in that loss at Louisville last Saturday. Now, Wallace did score 15 points and most importantly knock down those deciding free throws late in Georgetown's 2-point win over Villanova on Monday. But if the Hoyas are going to return to the Final Four, Wallace's hand is going to have to get hot again. That's it for this week's edition of Hot or Not. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.